Netanyahu's corruption trial, a group of families whose loved ones are being held captive by Hamas, disrupted the proceedings. They loudly protested the ongoing hostage situation in Gaza, highlighting the plight of 48 hostages, including 2 Americans still in captivity. The protest was quickly halted by security, with Netanyahu dismissing it as a form of incitement against him and his family. Meanwhile, the UN Relief and Works Agency has expressed grave concern over the escalating humanitarian crisis in Gaza, describing the situation as one of the exponential fear. The agency calls for an immediate ceasefire and unrestricted access for aid delivery. UNRWA warns that the ongoing blockade and airstrikes are worsening conditions for civilians. We're now joined by Ali Mohammed Abushbak. He's an independent Palestinian researcher and he joins us live from Cairo. First of all, Ali, I just want to briefly touch on Benjamin Netanyahu's corruption trial and what this outburst of protesters during that says about the current situation inside Israel. What does that situation say about the discontent that the Israeli public is feeling about the current decisions that Benjamin Netanyahu is making in regards to this conflict?
Thank you, Thomas, for having me. This is what we have mentioned many times, and the Israeli community, believing that Benjamin Netanyahu waged this war for his benefit and to avoid the court and the corruption court, especially the Qatar gate that he's alleged that received a corruption and received a bribe and a gift from Qatar's administration, and his one of the employee in his office also received the money from Qatar for several of the aims, and the Israeli community now believe in that, and most of the hostages, captive families believe in that. It's a personal purpose, this war. That's it. More than 100 protests that established in Israel since the very beginning of the war. The families, the captives' families, they are organized and mobilized. More than 100 protests in Israel, in Tel Aviv, in Jerusalem, and several of Israelis area. Just because they have this belief, and all the report, even Haaretz also, and Ma'arif, most of the Israeli left-wing newspaper, they understand this. Also, that magazine Plus 972 confirmed these things. Benjamin Netanyahu, he's using this war for 2 things: to avoid this court and to avoid the judgment in this court. One side, other side, to make his coalition happy, Benefir and Smotrich, who's considered as infamous according to several countries in Western, and they didn't give them, deny their visa to enter their lands, Benjamin Benefir and Smotrich. As I mentioned, also the continuous protests in Israel are desperate also families that Benjamin Netanyahu is not going to hear their demands and their appeals. So that will create a rebel, and it will create a chaos in Israel itself. So the continuous protest without any progress and without any outcome, so that will increase their tool in protest. Now they are protesting in peaceful way, and tomorrow we don't know how that situation it will exacerbate it, especially their loved one under at risk because of the Israeli invaded Gaza and the major Israeli operation in Gaza during to the second phase of the Guardian chariot. So that's imposed the danger to the Israeli captive in Gaza, and most of the families, and also when Benjamin Netanyahu he bombarded Qatar, all the families confirmed that he signed on the paper about the death of their their loved one and their children in Gaza. So the things is make it more complicated. Benjamin Netanyahu, most of the Israeli newspaper and the news website, they consider him as a mad. What he's going to do, he's going to involve Israel in regional war or what? He targeted a civil nation in Arab area or Middle East. He targeted Yemen. And also, by the way, Thomas, today there is a Israeli siren started playing in of area in Israel because of the Houthis missile reached to the Tel Aviv yesterday and also today. So that's increased the situation, and that's also the development of situation on the ground. It's going to out of the control of Benjamin Netanyahu. If most of the Israeli community reveal his real face, that will create a several of division in the Israeli community. The military, as mentioned before, the military commander, they warned Benjamin Netanyahu.
Okay.
There is no purpose.
Ali, I'm so sorry. We have run out of time this hour. Thank you so much, as always, for joining us. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. Well, as we've said, that is all that we have time for. But we will continue to bring you more news updates from around